a little bit about our school and a little bit about the course itself, and give you just that insight. So once we launch it, you will be aware of what you're going to be expecting to learn from this course, what you're going to benefit from this course, and where it's going to take you really in terms of this course as well. So I'll start sharing my screen right now, and let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, so my screen is starting to share. It's all good. Can you see it okay? Yes?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Mary. Okay, so I'm going to walk through the course itself. Let's start with the course. So the Rwandan Code Hills 1001 course is an AI software app, data science, content development course. So it's basically covering a broad amount of skills, and I'll explain exactly what you're going to develop in this course. So we are focusing on using Java programming language as the high-level programming language for this course. And of course, we're also going to be integrating AI, artificial intelligence. We're going to use generative tool, which is in this case will be Gemini. And we're going to be incorporating the use of data science, and we're going to incorporate the use of content creation, and I'll explain why. And that involves you having, at the end of the day, a portfolio and a YouTube channel. And you heard it correct. Yes, for a software developer, you are going to have a YouTube channel, and I'll explain to you why and how that's going to take you in terms of your career. So this is a green tech startup app. So we've done a couple of courses like this already, and this is going to be our very last free launch course that we're doing for talented, ambitious individuals, which is why we always seek to find talented, ambitious, hardworking individuals to do these courses, because we always want to also hire such individuals to work with us at Nazi Tech School, because our school, Nazi Tech School, was founded in July 2023, and it's not entirely a school just rendering courses to students. We are an educational body. We create apps, software apps, and we sell these apps to educational companies, to organizations. We create content, and we sell these contents as well. So apart from the fact that we also offer courses to students, we focus more on building ourselves as an educational block, and most importantly, helping ambitious talent across Africa to be able to practice their skills in a practical setting, and at the same time to earn something while doing that and grow. And we want to see everyone have a startup at the end of the day. So the Code Hills Rwanda, what it's supposed to do is bridge the gap between innovators in Rwanda, and this does not only apply in Rwanda, it applies in Nigeria, in any country. Nigeria, my home country, or Morocco, or anywhere. You can basically reflect this, what you've learned in this course can be reflected to apps that you create that relate to your own country of residence or to any other countries that you feel like. So it's bridging the gaps between the technology innovators, which are yourselves, the creators, and also the startup individuals, people who want to start up. And they don't know how to start up. They don't have ideas. They want to start something, but started very small. Somebody could be interested in braiding hair, for example, or maybe even a mechanic, maybe someone who sews, who's a tailor, someone who cooks, but really doesn't know how to start a business, does not have a business idea. So this is what your app is going to do. It's providing business ideas, showing how that works in reality. And that's where the content creation comes in. These type of individuals can have access to such information. So I think from this part, you're kind of seeing that this is not a static sort of app that you're going to create. This is a dynamic, versatile app for now and for the future. You can always keep updating it with new ideas, with new things for innovators to find across where you're living and beyond. So people specifically, for example, in Rwanda, there are some specific things in Rwanda that are available, which we're going to go through, of course. That's part of this course, like the coffee, the cocoa, whatnot. And other African countries, Nigeria, same thing in Morocco. There are specific resources in that country that is available. You can access easily in a cheap manner, but then people might not know how to be able to create business ideas from it, maybe make a hair cream, body cream. So this app is meant to be able to provide those ideas, provide those plans for people, and help them set up their own business in a small scale and give them that skills of how to do it. So that's what it's called. That's why it's called the Green Tech Startup App. Now, it's a big app, okay? So I will be very honest. It's a big app. The main thing I'm going to do during this course, because I will be leading and instructing it, I'm a software engineer myself and a software developer. Software development and design is something I do on my freelance, and I also do a lot in Nazi Tech School. We're going to have like a lot of these flagship programs and apps that we're launching, as I told you, to different educational institutions and companies. So we focus a lot on creating these type of apps that are very, very unique, and they're flagship apps. This is going to be one of them that you're going to learn how to develop. But like I told you, 6 sessions is just going to teach you the main basics and give you those techniques in a very simplistic manner. So if you are somebody who never coded before, this is for you. If you're somebody who has coded before, this is also for you. So it's here to cater for everybody who's coded, who's not coded. It's going to go in a very simplistic style, but yet very unique and innovative style at the same time. So there are going to be 6 sessions. This is saying 4 weeks, but actually in the real sense of it, this is going to be a 6-week program. So 4 weeks just means the intensity of the start of the program. So from the very first class, you might find it a little bit fast-paced, but the good thing is I will be class recording that. So the session will be recorded. I'll try to go in a very simplistic way and, not too fast or whatnot. But I feel what I mean by fast-paced is you'll find us that we're setting up, like already putting charts. That's what I mean. We're kind of setting up the back end where there's a sign up, there's a login. We're kind of thinking and planning how we do some sort of data science incorporation in there, monitoring customer behavior, monitoring people who come in. What are they really seeking to find? Because that's how you improve your app. So we're doing that, but yet this is not enough. If you want to be very profound in creating software app, but not just being a software developer, but being a system analyst, because you have to be one now. Someone who's able to listen to clients, who's able to look at what you create and relate it to all people in Rwanda or in Nigeria or in Africa. And definitely, would you mind please putting your mic on mute? Thank you very much as you join in. And for those who are joining in right now, please turn on your camera because we are in a recorded session. So please keep your cameras turned on. Okay, moving on. Let's start with the first part. So the first part is setting up. The week 1 is going to be setting up your app. So picture it in your head. This is an app where you're trying to make it available for people who are interested in startups. You're trying to bridge the gap between people who want to start a business, don't have an idea, they have a certain amount of money that maybe is small. You're going from small to big here. So they could even have just like $20, $30, but they want to start up a business, and they want to be able to start up a business with what's available in your country or in where you live, and those are your most common resources. So in Rwanda, for example, we've picked Arabica coffee, for example, premium tea, Gisovu, we've picked Agaseki. Like these are the common things that in Rwanda you will find most people have or can access. And from these things, you can do so many things with them, so many things, but people don't really know how. Now, this is where AI comes in. Because we have AI now, AI makes it so easy to take your idea and just visualize it in a very expansive manner. So your idea is someone in Kigali, someone with maybe a budget of $100 is wanting to start this business, has maybe no skills or has a specific skill. How can they come to your app and gain information, look at a plan and understand the plan and use that to be able to start up their business and actually see outcome from it? So things you will consider that we will have in this app is the ideas of how to start up a business. So we're going to have to create content. So once they select, for example, Arabica coffee, they select their city, they select a certain budget, then your app is going to give them a sort of outline of what they can do with Arabica coffee based on that budget. Maybe they can be able to create a cream line or whatnot. They can be able to create a product, a soap product, whatever it is. It will outline it for them. And you will have the actual content, that's video content, which you're going to learn how to make. And that's where content creation skills come in now. You're going to learn how to make that actual video content that's high quality, high end, to show them how this process works, how you can even use Arabica coffee, maybe to even start up a restaurant where your main ingredient is Arabica coffee. What are the kind of dishes that you will have? And how do you make this dish, for example? So all that will be in the content part. That's why you need YouTube, because you're connecting your app to your video that you have for example, on YouTube through a link. They can click and open and see it in action. So that's kind of the idea. That's where it is. So the data science aspect of that is that you're monitoring your customer behavior, user behavior. You're seeing what is the most common thing that users are attracted to in your app. Are they going more towards the Gisobu or the Agaseki? What is the most common thing that people who want to start a business go towards to know how to be able to start a business using that resource? And that's how you monitor. From there, you know, okay, my app should now focus more on this, or maybe I should provide more information to this. That's why we have data science and data analytics. So there's going to be an implementation of graphing and sort of a little calculation there where you see growth and all that stuff. So that's why I'm saying that's where the data science part comes in. So that's the first week will be just setting the whole thing up in terms of your interface. You're also going to learn how to do a back-end connection. That means that users who come to use your app, they must be users that are actually registered, right? You want people that you want to be able to communicate with. You want people that you can know their email address and you can send them hero emails. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Hero emails are sort of like the most trending high-end type of marketing that is available now. And they're specific type of emails. So when you send people, someone's interested, has just clicked on Arabica coffee or has clicked on palm oil, and you've seen their interest and you want to send them more information because you want to follow up with marketing and because you want to promote your app, then this is where the back end works. So we're going to have that sign up screen. So that sign up connection from your front and back end. So full stack is coming in there. Full stack just means that they click, information is sent and saved into a database. So you're going to learn about SQL. So if you had a little idea about SQL, now you're going to learn about it more. Once you understand how to set up just one table, you can understand how to set up all the remaining tables you need. You just need to understand the basic, and then you understand how to expand this even further. So that's the first week. Second week is sort of like going more into the creation of the content. So on the home page, let's picture it together. You basically have a home page, right? You have your banner, you have your page links, and then you've got this chart that basically is showing the user what is kind of more popular. People tend to see more. So the user, okay, people tend to see this. Why? Let me check it out. And then you kind of show the most popular kind of content that people are actually looking at in that whole home screen. And so going now into week 2, you might be focusing more on setting up and making sure all of that is working, because this is app development. You can't do everything in week 1. But also you're starting to work on the content creation side of this, because when you create content, what is important here? You have to create content that is simple, that is understandable, that's not too long. When they watch and they see how to make a simple soap or cream from mixing Arabica coffee with some other ingredients, to be able to know how to start up their own business, even the packaging, how to package it. And all this information is when you also learn how to use the AI, which is why we have generative AI. How do you use AI to be able to give you such information like that, that it's useful for a wider audience? So week 2, week 3, we'll kind of be focusing more on that. And then of course, week 4, week 5, we'll sort of make sure that things are progressing in that way, because you're only going to be shown one thing. So what I mean is, first of all, you're setting up of your home screen, right? How to be able to show that data stats with graph, how to be able to connect front end to back end with a sign up login, for example, and perhaps maybe even to store back end information, maybe about the product, for example. Then you're also going to be learning how to be able to make it such that when a person comes into your app, they select a city, they enter their budget, they click on one of those options of the things that you have available that you're creating content to show them how to start up a business for. Then you're also going to learn how to create that content. So once you understand these basic setups, and it's like you're putting a foundation in a building, right? You put the foundation, you have the structure, what's next? It's kind of like fancying the building, putting the cement and the paint and all that stuff. The remaining things just fall into place, and you understand how to continue from there, because you already know how to set up stuff in terms of analytics, how to connect with backend, how to create content. So you have that idea, so you set up the remaining parts, and that's where week 5 and 6 come in. So at the end of the day, by the week 6, or I think the 6th class, we will show you, or I will show you, how you can vibe code your app. So vibe coding doesn't mean, obviously people think, yeah, just go and type and you get a whole app. No, you have to understand the basics, and that's what you just did. You have customized and you've created your app to have a structure. So you have the visuals. What you're going to learn is how you can use AI, agentic AI. This is different now, not generative AI, agentic AI, to be able to look at your app and see how to even add more functional features to it that is beneficial to the kind of audience you're catering to, which is these startup individuals, right? So that's the part you're going to learn in week six. So you can be able to like improve your app in that way. So week 6, my bad. So that's like what will happen, and that's why you're going to be using Replit to do this. So we're going to use an international online compiler to be able to create this, because they have a very tough and high-end agentic tool present for you to make use of. Now, once you finish your whole app, you're also going to learn how you can create a development timeline. This is the documentation to show the process in which you created and developed your app. In case you want to ship this off to a software company, you want to propose it to build it and expand it even more, to have those extended features, whatnot. So that's all going to be part of your portfolio that you're going to have, along with this YouTube channel that you started setting up, because you're going to be putting the content for the business individuals that are looking to start up. And then, of course, finally, you also learn how to be able to sell your app, because in this Replit that we're going to use, it's connected to another company called Revenue Cat. And there you can actually put your app up for subscription, but you can even do this yourself on your own. So you don't necessarily need to connect to any company or any app store. You can have something in your app which you set up, like I told you, with an agentic AI tool, or with your own knowledge of database, where they can't use your app unless they pay a certain amount to connecting to a bank or whatever, whatnot. And then you give them a code, for example. So that's part of that final week, and that's what we're hoping you're going to achieve. Now, at the end of completing this course, what do you achieve from this? Well, apart from the fact that you've learned so many things, and now you know how to start creating software just from this course itself, you can start creating software app, and you can use agentic AIs to vibe code it and push it to a very high-end exclusive app that you can actually sell. You will, of course, be getting hand-on skills that you can apply in a practical sense. And we always pick the best student or the best 3 students from every course to work with us as interns, and then further on work with us as employees, as we see how you apply your skills and you learn in the job. And we do provide these financial gigs where we can help you here and there with jobs that we assign you to do. So that's one thing. You will, of course, be receiving an official certificate of completion, a letter of good standing, and a report card, plus, of course, your portfolio and your YouTube channel that you've set up, and the amount of networking that you have had throughout this whole course. Because every single lesson, you have to publish your lesson journey as a software developer throughout the course on your LinkedIn profile. So as you do that and you tag us, we have a very big network digitally. So they all come and they see what you're doing, and you start to grow yourself on networking. And we help you also set up your LinkedIn profile. This is something new that we're doing now. We didn't used to do it before, but we think it's very relevant to set up your LinkedIn profile, and also to show you a trick here and there on how to make yourself stand out, because the job market is very saturated right now. And even if you wanted to start up your own business, you kind of have to make yourself, and when I say business, I mean maybe as a software developer or creating these software, you need to make yourself stand out. When someone sees your profile, immediately they're just tempted to go and see what you're doing, because you look completely different from everyone else on LinkedIn, or in this case, LinkedIn. I'm not going to say other social media because we're not going to focus on that. But in this case, it will be LinkedIn. So that's the overall benefit of this. We do also have something where we are trying to look for talented individuals that can work with us to get our flagship apps going, because we have a lot of apps, and I'm going to show you some of them that we are looking for talented individuals to help us start, publishing and refining these apps from our app store. So I'm going to walk you through some of these apps. If you go to our website and you go to our app store, we got a lot of these apps that are already developed but are just going to need refinement. And so we're looking for creative people and people that can work with us to build these apps and to publish them and make them go into flagship apps. So that's currently a project that Nazi Tech School is ongoing with. You can go and check out these apps. A lot of them, all of them, I think, are all on ground and just waiting for publication, but they need to be refined and they need that extra touch of X factor in there. So this is something else that we're looking and why we're launching these courses, because we keep looking for these type of individuals. I think that is all for the overall structure of the course. I will come into other things, but does anybody have any questions so far regarding structure or anything that you want me to explain or clarify? No? Okay. All right. Then shall we talk about the next steps? So right now we are dedicated on making sure this course is kicking off and it's going to finish. We just had one that was the Niger Pro Pulse. We had to unfortunately cancel because of the type of competency we were seeing from students. So it's really important, if you want this course to go ahead and you want to learn and you want to start doing and developing and improving yourself professionally and gain from this, then that competence needs to be here. And we're making sure that this course will live up to the end, because we do have courses that we've lived up to the end that are free courses, but unfortunately we had to cancel the last one because it just wasn't getting that competence that we needed. Since this is a free course, we expect to see a level of competence. So anyways, I'm saying this because I just want you to be aware that we are going to work our best to explain, try my best to make sure you benefit from this, but at the same time, you need to show dedication here. So I'm going to go over this form. Now, this form, I think for those of you who were in the Niger Pro Pulse, you know this form. For those of you who weren't, you don't know it. It's a form where you have to show, it's called the commitment form. You have to acknowledge that you understand that you have to be present for all attendances. These are 6-week sessions. You need to be present for all 6. And if you're absent from any session, of course, that means that you're going to be out of the course. So again, like I said, we're trying to make sure this course sees through until the end of the 6th week. But again, if the attendance drops too low, then we will be forced to close the course, and we don't want to do that. So again, attendance is very, very important. There is something called a weekly schedule, and so this basically means that you have to create, and this is beneficial to you as a person if you want to grow yourself online. You have to basically publish learning, what we call learning journeys every lesson. After you finish lesson 1, you have to write a little reflection of what you've learned from this lesson, what surprised you, what you're going to do. And then you have to start developing the app from the very get-go. So from the start of the first lesson, right after that, you need to go and play the class recording and then develop the app in your own way as well, and also take snapshots of that and put that, because that shows how you're evolving as a developer, whether you've developed before or not. So that's something you have to do, and you have to tag Nazi Tech School in. So that's one of the rules as well. Attendance, I think I talked about that. There are going to be assessments. Okay, I'm going to show you one from one of the courses that we just completed in Cameroon. There's going to be assessments, and you have to complete these assessments on deadline. We shouldn't be reminding you about this. Once you have notification that your lesson video is now out, your assessment is now out, we will give you that ample time to complete your assessment. You just need to make sure that you're going there and you're completing the assessment, because all of that is going to be in your report card. And if you want to get an official transcript from this, then you have to make sure all of this is done. So that's very important. Audiovisual policy, yes, audio and video policy is very important. You have to make sure your audio works. You want to ask questions, your video is working, and it's turned on right when you join into the lesson, and you must be punctual. You can't be late. You have to be on time. Your internet connection is fine. So the lesson needs to go, it's just 1 hour. It needs to go smooth so you can understand the process and you don't have any problems. You also need to sign up on REPL It. I will send the link. You guys are going to have it when you receive your course contract, because we're going to send that to you. There is going to be the link there. It's probably going to be our referral link. If you're already signed up, that's okay. If you're not signed up, you need to click that link and sign yourself up. Make sure everything is set up for your first lesson. I think I talked about program benefits, but you're going to see more of that in your course contract. Your LinkedIn profile, of course, that needs to be pimped up. So we will send you something, I think, that's going to give you some guide of how to arrange your profile, because we're going to be checking the students we have to make sure you get the best out of this. So we'll look at your profile, and we have analysts that do that, and see if there's anything you need to add just to make it a bit more professional, a bit more should I say, out there. So once you start doing this course, you get a lot of networking, and that really helps you in terms of like jobs that you can complete, people you meet, conference you can go. There's many, many benefits to that. So you have to take advantage of that. So the Replit, I've already talked about that. The video testimonial is very important. So at the end of any course, we always ask students to record a video testimonial. You'll receive instruction for that by that time. And it's usually just to say your honest opinion of what you thought about the course and what you really benefited and how that's going to help you and et cetera, et cetera. Final agreements. Okay, so the final signature and stuff is where you kind of need to sign that you've understood all this information. So we will be sending this with your course contract next week, because this course is supposed to start on, oh my gosh, I think that's not right. That's July 3rd, not 23rd. July 3rd. That's a mistake. So if you check your WhatsApp, you're starting this on July 3rd. That means on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Morocco time. And it's only a 1-hour session. So 6:30 to 7:30, you need to be here on time. And the session starts immediately. The classes are going to be recorded, so you're going to have access to those classes. Now, let me show you an example of how the course thing looks like, okay? So I'm going to let me go open up Google Classroom. And this is our successful course that it was a free course that we finished 6 sessions. It was one of those free courses. This was recently completed by professionals in university students in Cameroon. So they've got 6 sessions just like you. And every session you will have information here, just like this, to the lesson, et cetera, et cetera. And then you'll have assignments that you have to do, right? Just like them. All this assignments that they would have to complete for those who are completing the assignments, of course. And of course, these assignments, sometimes you see missing, but they actually did it because it's on Google Forms. So we'll give you that instruction. When we give you something on Google Forms to complete, you shouldn't only complete it there. You have to come here and submit it. That's how we actually know you've done it. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, this is assignment 1. Then you've got like lesson 2, same thing's happening. And you've got your lesson, and then you've got assignment, that's assignment 4, sorry. You've got assignment 2 that you also have to do, assigned, how many have been returned and graded, and you've got, yeah. You understand the idea. So by the time we have the 6th session, we usually have a special guest that comes in, but I don't know, I don't want to confirm with you guys yet if a special guest is going to come in, but if there's going to be a special guest, because last time we had someone come in for talk about, I think it was about soft skills and how you can just basically use what you learned into a professional context. So if there's going to be a special guest, we will definitely let you know. But as of now, there isn't any word about a special guest. So this is really how your classroom is going to look like. So everyone's going to have access to these classrooms. You're going to be invited, and you just need to make sure that you are having access here, and you can be able to access your lessons immediately and your assessment immediately. You also have to make sure you're communicating on WhatsApp. Very important, very important. Once we send you a notification, you need to reply immediately. So at least it shouldn't take you some time. If you're somewhere away, come back and see it and reply, because that's really important for us to keep you in par with the course and what you need to do. So I think, guys, that's pretty much it for the Rwandan Code Hills. It's starting again July 3rd. You are going to receive your contract before that, probably Monday, Tuesday, where you need to read the contract well, because it's everything that I've just told you now. You need to fill this form and check it out. And then you need to sign manually on your contracts. You need to print, sign manually, and then send it back to us. And that basically just confirms that you're now locked in to start your lessons